Hello, everyone. My name is Addison Onken. A little bit before we start, I am doing a career exploration on for maybe fifth or sixth grade, and we're going to go through and see different types of careers, what we might be interested in, different aspects of that. I have a couple of resources that would be printed out. Um, I have them in Google Docs, so I will show you as we go through. But um, for the most part, um, it's going to be them working on a specific worksheet at that time. So the way I would start. So today, everyone, we are talking about career exploration. Okay. And then we're trying to find a job for you. Careers are going to be what we do for the rest of our lives. Um, we want to make sure that we know and we, have the information that we need to make the right decision that, which career is best for us. And so to do so, okay, let's think. Okay, take a second and think about it. Okay, what do you like to do? Just don't answer, just think. Okay, maybe what are you interested in? Are you interested in math, English, science? You like to work with your hands. You like puzzles. You want to do something with traveling. You like to draw art. You like to sculptures, different things. What are you interested in? So think, what do you like to do? What are you interested in? Okay. And then what jobs might those involve? So if you think about it, okay, does anyone want to share what they like to do? Okay, and then from there, we decide, hey, oh, I like to read. Okay, so what jobs involved reading in this case? When we would talk, get a couple of examples um, from the students, talk about it, see what we can do for that. The next thing, so now that everyone has an idea of what they're interested in or what they want to do, or, you know, what jobs might be involved with that. And, it's okay if you don't specifically know which jobs might be involved with that. We are going to take a look at the worksheet. And so I will hand out this worksheet, and the worksheet looks like this. And so on the worksheet, it has students going to the website at bls.gov and then K through 12. So they're going to type this into their computer if they have a computer. If not, we would find some other way to combat this. But I think at this point, most um, places have some sort of computer technology that we can use. And so if we open this up, okay, students need to open this up. This is what they get when they open it up, when they type it into the, the URL. When they type in the URL, they're going to then go to Students Desk. Okay, at Students Desk, it's got a bunch of different things. On here, though, we're going to take a look at one in specific. That is career exploration. Okay, and so on our worksheet, that's what we did. We came down here, we clicked on career exploration. Okay, and what you are going to do now is you're going to find and list 3 jobs that you might find yourself doing in the future, something that you might be interested, something that you see yourself doing in the future. They can be part of the same category, they can be part of different ones. So what I mean by that is, there's all these categories. So let's say for me, I am a school counselor. I can go to the teaching portion, I hit show, and they have a bunch of different teaching options. Okay, and I would click on this school and career counselors option because that's what I'm doing right now. But you won't all be the same. So you want to go through these and you can open up each individual one, find something that you're interested in. So let's say you like to deal with the law, okay, and you want to be a lawyer, okay. You would write down on your career exploration worksheet for this, you would write in lawyer. Okay, and so, find 3 things in each of these categories, or it can be all in the same. So if you want to be a lawyer, a judge, and then I don't know, something like a high school teacher. Okay, you would write those 3 down. But 3 things that you might be interested in. After you are done with that, okay, after we've got the stuff written down, all right, so we're going to take a second to do that. Once you're done, put your pencil down so I know you're finished, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, after that next step, we have, okay, go through those options that you have. And I have job 1, job 2, and job 3. And what you are going to do is you're going to open it up. And when you open it up, okay, it's going to look something like this. So let's go back to my counselors because that's what I'm doing. So let's do that. This is what you're going to get. Okay, you're going to get a bunch of information on this. All right, what you are going to look at is you're going to look at this box right up. Okay, and this box right up here has a couple of different things. First, it kind of gives you an idea of how much you might get paid. Okay, and that's that first line, how much you might get paid. Second line is the level of education that you might need. So for instance, me as a school counselor, I need a master's degree in order to get this education. Okay, and does anyone know, and then we can talk like bachelor's degree and then a master's degree and explain those different types, how much education you might need for that. After that, work experience related to the occupation. So how much do you have to work in this occupation in order to get the job? Like, do I have to spend 4 years training or 4 years, practicing being a counselor before I can actually get the job? After that, this last one on here is the on-job training. So if I were to get the job, does someone have to train me? Does someone give me extra training on top of what we're talking about? And so in this case, I, as a school counselor, made average of $60,510 per year. I need a master's degree to get this job. And then I don't need any prior work experience. So I don't need to be a counselor before I become, before I can start applying to become school and career counselor. And then I don't actually get any extra on the job training. Okay, so I don't have someone that I follow around and I do what they do and try to help that out. So that's what you're going to look at. So going back to our example, if we go to our worksheet, in a second, go back to our worksheet. Okay, what you are going to do is these 3 jobs that you listed above, right here, A, B, and C, you are going to write those in job 1, job 2, and job 3. Okay, and so from there, what you are going to do is you are going to find that job. You're going to write down how much is it paid, the education level that it needs. Okay, so like what we said, so how much it gets paid would be, so let's go back to lawyer. Okay, how much they get paid? Well, around $127,000 a year. Okay, that's a lot of money, right? So that's what I would write down for the pay. I'd write job 1, I would write lawyer. The pay, I would write 127,000. The education level needed, in this case, a lawyer needs a doctorate, a doctoral or professional degree. And anyone know what a doctoral degree is and how many years it takes? And then we can talk about that. Any prior work experience that it needs, it looks like none. And then on the job training, also none. So we would have work experience, none. and then training. Okay, and some are, some jobs don't have any work experience required. Some jobs don't have any training required, as you can see for lawyers. But if we go back, things like, I don't know, I think carpenter had something. Yep. So on the job training, we had an apprenticeship. Um, so different things like that. And what you're going to do now is you're going to you're going to find through the jobs and you're going to look for them. Okay. You're going to write those stuff down. All right. After you have those 3 written down, I want you to think about this last question. Okay. Last couple of questions. Okay. With the job that you have chosen, what is something that surprises you? So the jobs that you choose, is there something that you're surprised about? How much education something might need, or how much someone gets paid, or extra training required. So it's just something that surprises you about the positions or the jobs that you found. And then after that is, was there anything that concerned you about those jobs? All the jobs that you picked need a doctoral degree. Are you concerned about that? Are you, concerned that you got to go through a lot of school to get those? Or, if that's not it, then are you concerned maybe about the pay? Just different things that you could be concerned about. And then I want you to actually think, would this be a possible career for you in the future? Okay. Now that you know that information based off of that. So for instance, if I wanted to be a lawyer and I like the money, I'm okay with getting a master's, there's no extra training, then yes, it could be a possible career for me. However, it'll just depend on, which jobs you might pick and what you might have from there. And so from there, I would give them a little bit of time to work and go through that. And then, so, I wrote it down here. This is a school counselor and advisor, kind of gives the information about it. Okay. And then after they get done, after they get finished with writing everything down and have that, I'm going to ask a couple questions. Okay. And I'm going to ask, maybe as a group, see if anyone, ask what kind of jobs did you choose? And was there anything that surprised you about that job? Okay. And so I would ask, and, if there wasn't an immediate raise of a lot of hands, then maybe just put them into small groups. Talk to the person next to you, talk to the person behind you about something that might surprise you. Okay. With that, we would also have to look at the different types of education that is required for those jobs. Okay, like we looked before, a lawyer needs a doctorate degree. A carpenter only needs the high school. A school counselor needs master's. It just depends. And so we got to kind of think, we got to put into perspective what kind of education is required outside of high school. And so, what is a good place to go? Things that we can talk about there. And then I would, again, ask the class, say, hey, is there anything that surprised or that you maybe don't want to do? Is there any job that you found that you thought, oh, I'm going to do this, and go, that might not be so much, or that might not be me in the future. And so I would kind of explain that and explain kind of, this is subject to change. Just because you choose a job now doesn't mean you're stuck with it for the rest of your life. Okay, just keep an open mind. This is just a starting point, maybe something you're interested in now or that you can think about for the future. And then I would ask them to stay on their computer and fill out a questionnaire. And so I've got this questionnaire here, and it's got a couple of questions. First, answer the questions. No one can see the answers except for me. So try to be honest, really put yourself into to this career exploration activity. And so, asking for their name, and then, asking a little bit about themselves. How difficult was it for you to list 3 jobs that you were interested? Was it pretty easy to find 3 things that you could do, or was it really difficult? Was it really hard to find those jobs that you need or that you were interested in? Second one on here would be, how often do you think about a job that you might do? So, a couple of weeks, once a week, a couple times a month. How often are you thinking about that job, you know, what you want to do later in life? Um, and then, one way to write, how did this worksheet or the website help you understand different career options? How does this career option differ from the other? How does, what did I learn from this pretty much? And then the last one on here is just anything else you want to share with, questions on a particular profession, like why does it need this? Or, you know, how come it's so much for this? Something like that. And, I want to know and I'm, looking to help and, different things. Do you need helping find a profession? Like up at the top, was it hard to list three professions? Do you need help finding something? And then just any other comments that you might have based off of the activity that we did. And so, I'd have them fill it out. And then I would say, all right, so just keep that in mind that as we're going through this, um, the that your career will change throughout your life. You might like something now and it might change in the future, but you need to keep that in mind as we keep going. And as we keep going, we can get a little bit more in depth about what skills you might be good at and how we can improve those. And then so I'd pretty much just be done with that. And then I listed a couple of development guidelines that we kind of talked about throughout this activity slash, presentation of however we want to do it. And then I got my references there. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. And I hope you have a good day.